Hey, what's up guys? RhinoRatesMusic here, and this is my first video on this YouTube channel. I'm sure most of you are probably on my TikTok page, so welcome. But if somehow some of you guys are new and you don't know my TikTok page, then welcome again. And my TikTok page is in the description, where I post short videos, music-related content, make jokes, opinions, and stuff like that. So if you're into that, or if you're a person who just loves talking about music way too much to your friends and you just drive your friends crazy talking about music over and over again, depending on which genre, from hip-hop, rock, pop, folk, indie, experimental, then this is the channel for you. So, it is the end of the year. That means the end of a music year. And this has been a very solid year for music. 2021 has had a lot of great music come out, a lot of great albums ranging from all different genres, something in it for everyone this year, I guarantee you. Like, if you're a person, you didn't like a single song came out this year, then music's just not for you in general. But, so yes, later on this week, I'm going to be ranking my top 50 favorite, or the top 50 best songs and the top 50 best albums of this year, in my opinion, of course. But starting things off, we've got to dish out the dirt in the bottom of the barrel and talk about some of the worst music. So in this video, I'm going to be ranking the top 20 worst songs of 2021. Now, few ground rules here. No, these don't have to be singles. They can be album deep cuts. And these songs can be bad just because they're either so damn boring, or maybe they're so bad they're ironically enjoyable. They might have something that stands out really badly, whether that may be from the production, or the lyrics, or the sentiment. But yeah, anything that just makes these songs suck ass. And of course, there may be some of these songs you guys may like or not agree with. That's fine. This is just my opinion at the end of the day. What I think of the top 20 worst songs, but I'm sure at least half of these you guys will agree on, because there are some really bad songs here that I think a lot of communities from different musical perspectives can agree on. So, let's begin the list. Okay, so starting at the number 20 spot, we have the song Hey Boy by Sia. So, in case you didn't know, this song is from Sia's album, from the soundtrack to that movie she did, that awful movie she did that so badly portrayed autism and came across as ableist, which she got a lot of controversy from, and the album itself just insanely generic, and this song is just generic on a whole different level. Sia's vocals sound nowhere near as good as they once did in the past. Some of the lyrics are awfully cringe and just very much tie in with some of the themes in the movie, and because that movie represents ableism to a whole degree, and so offensively and hilariously badly portrays autism, and because this song's attitude kind of represents that, and the beat is nothing special as well. Yeah, this song's just really bad. Okay, coming in at the number 19 spot, we have a song from the Migos Culture 3 album. I'm talking about Having Our Way featuring Drake. So, the entirety of Culture 3 is just the worst perception you can have of and the most accurate portrayal you can have of what a boring trap album is. This album, if you want to get a perspective of this album, some of the worst aspects of this album, from the lack of chemistry between the members to shitty production, shitty lyrics, generic flows, or bad song structures, just messy, then this song has all of those. It's got bad chemistry because the first half of the song is just literally taken up by Drake, who... It's like, imagine you're marking an essay, and the essay is written in a way where it's structured so badly. Some of the words, some of the sentences don't even make sense. It seems like the person written it had no idea what they were saying. They lost their train of thought. They lost the flow, and they weren't structuring good. The paragraphs were written very badly. That's what this song is. The song structure of this is just a mess. And that's one of the biggest aspects, the biggest downward spirals of this song. But it's also, Drake's performance here is not great. Again, he's losing his train of thought. At some points, he has no idea what he's saying. About the chemistry of the Migos, Quavo just sounds like he doesn't want to be there when the Migos do finally come in. The beat is just so badly produced, mixed like shit. The lyrics are shit, and just absolutely nothing good about this song, and definitely one of the worst moments on Culture 3, but you could really pick out most of the songs from here, and it could make this list, but this one I decide because it represents all of the bad characteristics of Culture 3. Moving on to number 18 spot, we have Morgan Wallen with Country Ass Shit, and just like how Having Our Way so badly portrays Culture 3, so badly portrays the worst aspects of Culture 3, this song so badly portrays the worst aspects of Morgan Wallen's double album, which, just like Migos Culture 3, is insanely bloated. So many unnecessary tracks, so long, so boring, just boring, generic country pop. And this is the song that basically every single redneck on Instagram would use as the sound to try and hold their conservative values or make some sort of conservative post. But yeah, the lyrics are just shitty, the vocals sound like shit, the instrumental is generic, so yeah, nothing good about this song. Moving on to number 17 spot, we have Lil TJ from Born to Be Great. So not only is this song just another example of a very generic and poorly structured trap tune with a poorly produced beat, Lil TJ's bad, nasally, whiny delivery, but also the lyrics on here are very egotistical, and I know that a lot of trap songs are egotistical, but sometimes they can be egotistical in a way where the artist deserves to hold that status because they're actually making some great lines, some very memorable bars that kind of makes them deserving for them to be egotistical, deserving of that, narcissistic kind of persona. But on this track, he is doing it in such a poor way, just essentially trying to put everyone on top of him, trying to put himself on top of everyone, try and make him sound the best he could, but in such a boring way. Just don't get the vibe of this track whatsoever. Moving on to number 16 spot, we have 6ix9ine with Zaza. I don't really need to go into detail this track, but one thing I will say, it seems like the 6ix9ine memes are kind of dying down. Now that more and more people are starting to get tired of the meme and how most people who listen to 6ix9ine don't actually take him seriously or know that he's a shitty artist, this song did not do as well commercially, showing that the meme's kind of dying out. People are finally starting to get tired of 6ix9ine, and then he needs to just stop doing this mumble or screaming type of bullshit with shitty-ass music videos with just a bunch of thoughts surrounding him, the rainbow hair, he needs to stop that because it's not doing him any good anymore. But will 6ix9ine ever make a good, serious song? I don't think so, because, yeah, Zaza is just another 6ix9ine song. What else can I say? Moving on to the number 15 spot, we have one of the most generic alternative rock songs of the year. I'm talking about 21 Pilots with Choker. So I was kind of looking forward to this 21 Pilots album because I love Blurry Face, I love Trench, and I actually did like the single Shy Away. But as soon as we got this single, Choker, yeah, this single merely makes me want to choke. And I knew that this album was going downhill because, again, similar to Having Our Way, the song structure, it's poorly structured. There's no proper linear pathway of this song. It starts from just your typical generic verse to a chorus that just so randomly pops out, and then a random and shitty rap verse at the end. Like, what is going on? And the instrumental is also very cheesy. The instrumental honestly sounds like AJR meets Coldplay. That's what it sounds like. And, spoiler alert, AJR will appear on this list later. Moving on to number 14 spot, so obviously we had a few content creators, a few TikTok stars, and even a few YouTubers make their own song this year, and some of them ended up being pretty shitty, but others ended up being pretty good. But this song by Dream, yes, the Dream, the Minecraft pro player, his song Mask is certainly not one of them. So I get that Dream, as a gamer, as a content creator, is fairly misunderstood, and that misunderstanding does bring a lot of attention to him and does maybe cause him to have depressing thoughts, and that's kind of the vibe of this song, just about depression and how the idea of the mask he wears is supposed to cover something deeper, something darker, which I kind of do appreciate that theme, but it's just executed so poorly. It's executed even worse than one of those shitty emo rap songs from 2016 or 2017 SoundCloud era. The instrumental is bad, his vocals do not sound good at all, and the lyrics are just so melodramatic as hell, to the point where he's trying to make me feel sympathetic for him, and in a way, I think I would feel more sympathetic for Dream if this song didn't exist, because this song does not make me feel sympathetic at all. It sucks, honestly. Okay, moving on to the number 13 spot, we have Post Malone with Motley Crue. So, Post Malone had kind of been on a roll doing different things from pop, R&B, rock trap, metal, so he was kind of doing some good things, but then he released Motley Crue, which shows him trying to impersonate Playboi Carti's style, and it couldn't have gone down any worse. The lyrics are cheesy as hell in itself, so if it weren't for that terrible vocal delivery, this would already be not a very good song, but him trying to impersonate Playboi Carti just doesn't work. The only artist so far who has actually done a good job at impersonating Playboi Carti, aside from Playboi Carti himself, is Doja Cat. Post Malone can't do it. And he even knew that because the single that he released afterwards, One Time Now, just showed him going back to his normal style, which, while it was a lot better than Motley Crue, was just more boring because he wasn't really doing anything interesting. It made him play it too safe. So I don't know where this new Post Malone record's going. And I certainly hope that Motley Crue stays well away from this new record. Keep this song off the record. I don't want it on there. I want this record to be at least decent. Please. Moving on to number 12 spot, we have, yes, the poser himself, Machine Gun Kelly, Paper Cuts, with attempting to ruin a third genre. He ruined rap first, and then Eminem killed him, made him switch to pop punk, where he ruined punk again, and now on this, he attempted to go for a grunge type sound. Is he seriously trying to ruin Kurt Cobain's sound here? Because, yeah, the way he's doing it is poor, the dude cannot sing, the riffs are insanely generic, cheesy, the song structure's bad, just awful song overall, awful. Moving on to the number 11 spot, we have the hit single from one of the biggest and one of the most controversial albums of this year, and one of the albums that spawned one of the biggest rap beefs. I'm talking about Drake with CLB, and the song I'm talking about is Way Too Sexy, featuring Future and Young Thug. How many more Why Said Fred samples has it got to take to realize that any rap artist or any artist that tries to sample Why Said Fred is not going to work? And even with that, the song doesn't go down well. Again, the song structure is messy as hell, the mixing is terrible, Drake does absolutely nothing, Young Thug's verse on the back end sounds absolutely horrible and did not need to be there, and Future is basically carrying the whole song. It sounds a lot more like a Future song than it does a Drake song. And Future doesn't even do that great either. His lyrics are cheesy as hell, and I guess some people could see this live as like when you're very drunk, this song could be fun, and that's why there are some examples of some songs on this list that may be so bad they're good, but there are very few situations where I can actually have fun with this song or portray this song in that kind of light, because it's just terrible. It's cheesy. It's way too cheesy for me to not take... I mean, you can't take it seriously, but even when not taking it seriously, it's way too cheesy for me to like in any sort of ironic light, because it's horrible. Moving on to the number 10 spot, a song that maybe I can sort of love in an ironic way, but still insanely cheesy. I'm talking about AJR with Humpty Dumpty. I swear, if we take the tequila challenge, the tequila song challenge, where every time the song tequila says tequila, you take a shot of tequila, you replace it with this song, and every time Humpty Dumpty is said, you take a shot of Jägermeister, then I think you'd be dead. Because the amount of times Humpty Dumpty is said is just out of this roof. And the song itself has no clear message. The message that may be there is just completely lost by its terrible chorus, terrible vocals, and generic beat, which AJR have always been known for, so it's no secret that they're going to make this list. Moving on to the number 9 spot, another song that's no secret, no surprise is going to be on this list, and a song that very recently came out. I'm talking about Jimmy Fallon, Ariana Grande, and Megan Thee Stallion with A Masked Christmas. Who would have thought that Jimmy Fallon, one of the most famous talk show hosts, would actually make his own song? And I hope he never does it again. The man cannot sing. The man has to use the most crazy amount of auto-tune just to try and make his vocals sound decent. But in the end, it just takes away every single human aspect of his vocals, which already sound awful. Ariana Grande's vocals, well, it's no secret that Ariana Grande has very few bad vocal performances. This one may be the closest one to actually making a bad Ariana Grande vocal performance, because she just sounds incredibly shallow and does not match the beat, which is poor, the beat, which is awful. Her vocals do not match that beat, even though she has proven that her vocal style is quite fluid, as Thank You Next is literally a trap-inspired album, but on this one, it doesn't work. The only artist who is actually putting in a little bit of effort here is Megan Thee Stallion. She's actually trying to put in a bit of charisma. It's just the issue is the song in itself is so damn cheesy in a bad way that any of her hilarious lyrics that she may pull up, it just gets absolutely destroyed or ruined by the amount of absurdity that is present with Jimmy Fallon and Ariana Grande's part. So, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Christmas songs, but this is like a Christmas nightmare. What the heck is this? Even if the message may be kind of good, I am a pro-choice person myself, so... And I do get that, masks, COVID has kind of ruined Christmas experience for some people, but come on, Jimmy Fallon, you don't need to make it worse for people. Come on. Moving on to the number 8 spot, we have a song that is boring at best and absolutely disrespectful at worst. We have Maroon 5 with Can't Leave You Alone, featuring Juice WRLD. So, the entirety of this Maroon 5 album, all I can say is, how is it that after every album release, Maroon 5 just get more and more corny, more and more cheesy, more and more generic, and more to the point where it seems like Maroon 5 has more become Adam Levine and the few boys who may do a couple of things here and there, but Adam Levine just trying to run everything and ruin everything in the process. And in the process, they got an actual bad Juice WRLD verse and put it into this song and made Juice WRLD look bad. Not only was this a poorly recorded Juice WRLD verse they chose, but they mixed it so badly with the beat, and I don't think Juice WRLD himself would have ever wanted to work with Maroon 5, or Adam Levine, I should say. So, Adam, if you're hearing this, keep doing your shitty stuff. If you want to keep making a fool of yourself and trying to, despite your old age, trying to fit in with the modern trends and embarrass yourself, go for it. But to bring a dead man into it, fuck you. Seriously, fuck you. Middle fingers. Moving on to the number 7 spot, we have one of the biggest and most cringiest TikTok memes out there. We have Oliver Tree with Life Goes On. Not only is the lyrics to this melancholy and melodramatic as hell, the beat's boring, but I think everyone knows why this song would make it on this list. The hook. Life goes on and on and on and on and on and... Yeah, just absolutely dreadful and gets stuck in your head in such a bad way. This song will always forever worsen my taste for Oliver Tree. And not that I was the biggest Oliver Tree fan before this, but I thought he had some potential, but now he's just ruined it. Especially considering after he said that he was going to stop making music. Is he going to keep making music, but just make music as cheesy and as cringe as this? I don't know. Moving on to the number 6 spot, another example of a song that blew up on TikTok for the wrong reasons. We have Tramp Stamps with I'd Rather Die. So obviously a big thing for music this year is more DIY type music, bedroom type music. And this is an example of Tramp Stamps trying to be Tramp Stamps who claim to be a DIY pop punk band, which pop punk at this point had already gotten cheesy as hell, but you wanted to know who wanted to make it even more cheesy and worse than Machine Gun Kelly? Tramp Stamps. A 4-piece female pop punk outfit that made this song with that awful hook. Yeah, and I'm not trying to imply that I'm a snowflake myself, because I, as a straight white guy, I don't take offense to this. It's just how poorly made it is, how poorly made this message is, and the controversy the song spawned for the wrong reasons, because they were aiming for the controversy. Oh, and they certainly got it, but it did not do them any justice. And the fact that most of this band themselves are actually straight white people. So, what are they directing this at? Are they trying to direct this at the white people, are they trying to be like the girls who think that all white people, all straight people are oppressors? Or are they just making fun of them for being bad at sex? I don't know. Anyway, it's still a god-awful song. Coming in at the number 5 spot, we have a song by, yes, the man himself, the straight white male, white boy, I'm talking, the legendary Tom MacDonald. And I've chosen the song Snowflakes, because literally any song he released this year could make this list at this point on, because Tom MacDonald's just that good at making shitty music, shitty conservative bait and bigotry tunes that just, I do not know whether to engage with the kind of people who actually genuinely enjoy and soak in this music, like Tom MacDonald is the, oh, finally someone speaking the truth, yes, finally a good rapper, like, what the fuck? Snowflakes is just nothing but Tom MacDonald complaining about the internet, cancel culture, white people, Christians, and males supposedly being hated on too much, and ignoring every other problem that actually exists, just trying to flip it all and doing it in the most absurd and most derivative and the most cringe way possible. But yeah, like I said, any Tom MacDonald song that came out this year couldn't make it onto this list, but this song had to top the cake, because really, the real snowflakes are actually Tom MacDonald himself and his fans, who can just all fuck off. Moving on to number 4 spot, we have the song that so many people within the trap community know notoriously for being the auto-tune disaster. Literally everybody in the trap community, this song was a complete bomb, and literally everybody in the trap community hates this song for good reason. I am talking about YBN Namir's Soul Train. Now, imagine taking every single boring aspect of a boring, generic, cheap trap song, generic beat, poor flow, same old lyrics, and generic mixing, but you make it 3 times worse. You make the mixing and the auto-tune 3 times worse, to the point where Namir literally sounds like he is rapping underwater. And it's not like, yes, because maybe sometimes this kind of use of auto-tune could be used in a good way to give a song maybe that kind of vibe, a vibe that actually, works, where if he feels like he's drowning in sorrows, drowning in sins, drowning by demons, this could make sense, but the song just is essentially egotistical, so it does not work whatsoever. It's just a massive fail on the producer's behalf, a massive fail on the label's behalf, and a massive fail on Namir's behalf. And it's because of this, I can definitely understand why Corday wanted to split from YBN, because this is terrible. Moving on to number 3 song, we have basically the boomer, white, conservative Americans with Confederate flags anthem of the year. I'm talking about Kid Rock with Don't Tell Me How to Live, featuring Monster Truck. Yeah, this is essentially the anti-socialist, conservative banger of the year. Yeah, if you ever hear this song playing at a pub, then I would advise you to get the fuck out of that pub as soon as you can. I don't care how much you've had to drink. I don't care how drunk you are. I don't care if you're about to win a game of pool against another drunk conservative American and prove him wrong. Get the fuck out of there as soon as you can, before this song becomes the song where every single other person in the pub starts standing up and starts giving the pledge to the song, the pledge to anti-socialism, the pledge to anti-leftism. It's just, any person who is on the opposite side of the political spectrum knows what I'm talking about with this, and knows that I'm looking at you, and knows that I'm saying, get the fuck out of here. Because, yeah, this song just, even with the lyrics aside, it's just insanely cringe and cheesy and very, very boomer-oriented in every way, shape, and form. And, yeah, there's a reason people don't actually take Kid Rock seriously, and this is why. And this is why there's very few other songs out there that probably represent a Confederate side of America that just don't get mentioned or don't get talked about for good reason. But this was a song that was talked about, but for the wrong reasons, and it should never ever be brought up into a proper professional musical conversation ever again, because it's terrible, it's bigotry, and it's cringe as hell. Fuck off, Kid Rock, just please. Okay, moving on to number 2 spot. We've made it to the top 2. All 3 of these songs, I would say, are awful songs, and you could rank all 3 of these different ways. But at the number 2 spot, we have Tones and I with Won't Sleep. So, obviously, Tones and I blew up onto the scene 2 years ago with Dance Monkey, which I still have not gotten out of my head, and I will never ever forgive Australian radio for that. But Tones and I is back with her debut album, and this is one of the many awful moments on it, but this is one of the hit singles, Won't Sleep. Not only is this just cringe at best, but at worst, it's just nightmarish. Despite the fact that this song tries so hard to be creepy, yeah, it does give you nightmares, but not in the way Tones and I intended it to be. In the way that this song just, the insanity of it, the awful vocals, the cringe lyrics, the badly produced beat, the vibe of the track, everything about it just awful. Absolutely awful, and something that, while not as awfully catchy as Dance Monkey, so it won't get stuck in my head, but just one listen to this song and you'll never ever want to touch this artist again. And the interesting thing is, Tones and I is actually not that bad of a singer live. She's actually not, but this this more unique but cringe vocal style just isn't working anymore, and especially does not work on this song. And with the accent too, trying to impersonate Frankenstein, like, just, I can't talk about it anymore. Anyway, we've made it to the top of this list, so before we get to the worst song of this year, in my opinion, a few honorable mentions. So first we have Ed Sheeran with Overpass Graffiti. While I actually thought there were a few decent songs on Ed Sheeran's Equals album, this song is a song that's both generic and also childish at the same time. Also, we have one of the biggest pop singles of this year, especially on TikTok, and especially when it comes to a pop single made by non-poppers. I'm talking about the Kid Leroy's Stay, featuring Justin Bieber. Just cringe, awful vocals, cringe lyrics that shows Kid Leroy trying to absolve himself being an absolute dick to girls and asking them to stay, despite him being a dick to girls and admitting to it. Justin Bieber adds absolutely nothing to the song, and the beat is just so samey and just sounds like a rip-off of The Weeknd's 80s style After Hours album. We also have BTS with Permission to Dance, easily their worst English spoken song. The vocals are cringe, sound terrible, the production is terrible, the choreography is bad, I don't care for this one. We have the stereotypical lesbian herself, Girl in Red, with the song You Stupid Bitch, and this is just the epitome of your typical stereotypical lesbian type banger, stereotypical lesbian banger. And we also have Iron Maiden with The Writing on the Wall, just awful vocals, generic instrumental, just what the hell happened to Iron Maiden, and a couple of remixes. We have Beer's Whole Lot of Money with Nicki Minaj, and we also got Masked Wolf's Astronaut in the Ocean remix with DDG and G-Eazy. If you thought the original was bad enough, wait till you hear this version. Okay, now we got the honorable mentions or dishonorable mentions out of the way. Let's move on to the number one spot. The number one worst song of 2021, in my opinion, it has to be a song that fulfills... I was thinking of this song for a while, and I was thinking, is it a song that checks this tick off for being insanely bad? Yes. But does it do more than that? Does it go beyond that and just get 100%, but negative 100% with that criteria? Yes. And was this a song that appeared on my For You pages all the time? Yes. And when I say For You page, I mean on TikTok, because I'm talking about Addison Rae's with Obsessed. And this is my number one pick for the worst song for a few reasons. Firstly, not just because, it's Addison Rae, and, a lot of people love to hate on Addison Rae, Charli D'Amelio, all that, but I'm not saying that I'm just hating on them because they're them, or hating on Addison Rae because she's doing her thing. I get that, she wants to make a song, but a song like this, where she's just ripping off Ariana Grande's vocal style, but making it sound worse, so not only are the vocals generic, they sound like a rip-off of another huge vocalist. The beat is so... it's paulable. It's so samey. Sounds like a beat that was produced on a free musical key website. The lyrics are easily the worst aspect. If you thought songs like Way Too Sexy or Lil TJ's Born to Be Great were narcissistic, then wait till you hear the lyrics on this version, because it's just lyrics about Addison Rae, not obsession about guys, not obsession with other artists, but Addison Rae being obsessed with herself. Yeah, that's what it's about. How much more narcissistic can you get? So the coherence of the song is really bad too. The sentiment is awful, and everything else about the song doesn't even do it well. It does not show any sort of reason as to why Addison Rae would be obsessed with herself. But thankfully, she has not made another song of her own since. She's gone more into acting direction, which I don't think she's also done very good at either, but clearly at least doing a better job at that than she is as an artist, because this song was just an absolute disaster from release. A song that even some of Addison Rae's fans couldn't get by, and for good reason, because it's awful, absolutely awful, and my pick for the worst song of 2021. Okay, now that the barrel's been dished out, that's pretty much going to end this list, and now tomorrow we're going to move on to the top 50 best songs of 2021. So stay tuned for that, and if you guys made it to the end, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, tell me what songs you thought were genuinely awful this year, what were some of your least favorite songs this year, what songs that were not on this list that you would put, let me know. But until then, guys, I will catch you in the next video, or catch you on TikTok. Stay tuned, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.